this week we're going to talk about scams, because we had some emails, didn't we, Katie? Separately, obviously.
We did. And we see it in the Good Ship community. Sometimes people will paste like an email they've got and they say, is this legit? Is it a scam? Has anybody worked with this publishing company or whatever? And we've seen things posted by, like, the AOI have posted stuff about scams to look out for. Daniel DeLieto, is that his name?
From Hierillo.
Yes.
Yeah, he and AOI had put one out as well. I'm just thinking, though, there was one last night in live call that you missed.
Oh, was there?
Someone asked, had we heard of a company called illustrationhubplc.com? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
That was in the chats.
Ah.
And someone said, oh, they've just got in touch with me. So I actually looked on the site, and the text was misspelt, illustration. They'd even spelt their own name wrong. And a few people in the group had said, oh, I've heard of been emailed by this supposed illustration agency. And yeah, if you look at any of the Google chat reviews, whatever, it's not good. There's, as well as employers potentially, emails where people are saying, would you like a job with this fake person? There's also slightly iffy illustration agencies popping up as well that people have made up.
Are there like emails that do the rounds and you would recognise? Are there very specific ones that everybody's like, oh yeah, I've had that?
Yeah, what was that? Was it Takeshi?
Mr. Takeshi one?
Yeah.
Which comes in different forms. And it always says something like, oh, hello, I'm so-and-so working on behalf of Mr. Takeshi. I wanted to reach out to you to see if you'd be available for work. And the wording gets a bit funny in the middle of it. Sounds a bit AI, and they've coded the AI letter to pull out, when it gets your email address, it also pulls out a random title of your work, which it inserts in the brackets, which they think automatically makes it look personalised. So yeah, quite a few people have talked about the Mr. Takeshi scam, and it's a famous illustrator, Japanese illustrator's name anyway, so it already sounds quite too good to be true and quite dodgy.
Yeah.
So that's the main one recently to watch out for. But most of them you can insert a bit of the text into Google, and that's the best way to check it, isn't it? You do that, don't you?
I usually copy and paste a paragraph and the word scam or something, and then it'll pop up. If there's anything, like Reddit's usually really good for people saying, I've been sent this email. And it's weird, like a lot of them are like weird, complicated, almost like money laundering things where they're like, you need to pay a little deposit and we'll send you some back. And they only get, it was like 50 quid or 100 quid.
Yeah, they overpay you so that you have to pay them back the excess, usually through PayPal. That reminds me, the other one that was doing that was the email that said, I'm really interested in buying some work off you or showing your work. I'd like you to contribute to this charity exhibition, but I'm deaf, so you can't call me. Well, basically, that was the subtext, yeah.
And it was saying something like, and if you have a problem with deaf people, it was like accusing you.
Yeah, was it like, I hope you won't have prejudice against me?
Exactly, yeah. So that as soon as you read it, you were like, what?
Yeah. It was it was a really uneven thing to add. That was the kind of first alert, isn't it? It's like, by the way, I'm deaf, which was their way of putting in it. You can't call me. We can never have a conversation over the phone. So that way you will never find out anything about this scam. Let's keep it to email.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so disingenuous.
Yeah.
And I had, so some of them, they're getting harder and harder to spot, which is also worrying. But I had one where it was a client that I'd worked with before and they had paid me and it was a legit job that I'd done. And it was an agency that I worked for. So working for Meta, like Facebook, through an agency. And this guy was like, we've got another piece of work that you've been selected to apply for, more information in the PDF attached. And I was like, oh, cool. So I clicked on the PDF and then it was like, click a link to see the details. And something in my mind was just like, I don't really want to click a link. Like, why have you given me a PDF if the information isn't in the PDF? That's really weird. Yeah. So I just replied, being like, hi, Max, great to hear from you. Like, can you just send me the information? Like, what are you doing, weirdo? I didn't say that, but in a polite way. I was just like, please, could you send the information by email? I don't want to click any links. And he replied pretty much immediately, like an hour later, being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, my email was hacked. So somebody had somehow got into his email. So it was his actual email and he was a real person. And then I'm assuming he must have clicked a link from somebody else and that is why, who knows. Anyways, I was just lucky that I was feeling skeptical that day. Really random.
Thank God you had time to think, because I probably would have clicked the link. I'm so gullible sometimes. But recently I got an email for a job where I was like, I don't know if this is real or not. I couldn't do the job, so I found it easy to dismiss it in my mind. I didn't have time to do the job, put it that way. But the message was from a lady who was representing a chain of hotels and wanted some maps, which they would use on collaterals and something for this chain of hotels. But she wouldn't tell me the chain of hotels. She would let me know that later. And also the request was for licenses in perpetuity, which was more or less copyright grab. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And her email address was a Gmail. So I was like, I'm sure this is a scam. It's very targeted to me. And it could be that it's from a marketing company, because marketing people, unlike design agencies, don't fully understand licenses. So they ask for the moon. And then you have to kind of educate them out to it. Like, let's do this as a 5-year deal, not perpetuity and copyright. So from that point of view, I was thinking, maybe it is just marketing and they don't understand that they're asking for a lot. But why would you, A, not tell me the chain of the hotels? Is it because you think I'll bump my quote up? And B, I can't find your company anywhere because you've got a Gmail. And that, for a start, is why I won't work with you. Then later on, I looked on LinkedIn, and I found a one-woman marketing company under her name. And it could have been her, and it could have been a real job. But all of this kind of grey area made me think this scam thing is getting out of control, because I'll probably start turning down jobs now just because I'm vaguely suspicious. But there was no way of calling her. And if I did get on the phone to say, are you fake? You can't how do you have that conversation with someone? But I think, on balance, I was probably right. You checked some of the text for me, didn't you, Katie? I sent it to you and said, what do you think?
Yeah, I think, did it come back dodgy? I can't remember.
You said, I've seen, yeah.
I can't remember if it did or not, but I think
there's
enough red flags to be like, sounds dodgy. And even the rights grab thing, like the wanting full in perpetuity, like you don't want to do that anyway. So
yeah, I mean, you could get into some kind of conversation with them, but hopefully, if anyone hears this who is a client, please always give your company name, because you can't cooperate with someone who doesn't even seem to be real. Another reason why LinkedIn is great is because you can do the detective work to find out, are these people likely to be real? Would they have a real email address? You can't use a kind of a mask of a Gmail address and expect another business to take you seriously.
Yeah.
It's too risky.
I mean, I've had that in the past where a client has used their personal Gmail account email address because they're from a really big company and they're trying to get it cheaper.
That's what I felt.
Yeah, that happened with Google actually. Because then I got on the call, I was like, "Oh, you're Google." Oh, okay.
No,
damn it, I did not realise. But
whoa,
I mean, yeah, it's
cheeky.
A little bit naughty, but you live and learn. So now I just charge everyone the same.
This didn't even have a signature sign off, like no company brand, no address. Weird. So I think those are probably good things to look out for if you're being approached by someone you don't know for work. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes it's the other way, like it's not a scam, it's actually a really big, exciting job, but they're pretending not to be big and exciting so that you don't overcharge. Oh, wow. And then sometimes if it seems way too good to be true and they're like, we want to pay you instantly for this job, I want to buy artwork. For me, that's a big, huge red flag because I don't sell prints, I don't sell artwork.
I've had messages like that through Instagram, messages coming into Instagram saying, I want to buy your artwork. But they don't use, there's just something about it. I'm not trying to sell artwork on Instagram, so straight away.
It's inappropriate
no, that's
for a start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about, I see things about vanity publishing. That's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not a scam in the traditional sense of like they're trying to steal money from you.
I think in the world of picture books, if I get an email in that's asking me to do an illustration, I sort of suspect it straight away. And because I don't want to do it, I just ignore them. So I have had scam emails in, but I just delete them immediately, so I can't even remember what they're about. But the regular one is Vanity Publishing, isn't it? Where they say we want to publish your book, but then when you look up who they are, you need to pay for this project, and it's actually a Vanity publisher, but they're not being forthright about it.
It's not cheap, is it? Isn't it like £3,000 and plus?
Yeah, and then you've got to distribute the book as well, which is just a nightmare. How do you get it in all the bookshops? You can't get it in all the bookshops, so. Yeah.
I think it's just really exploitative to wannabe younger illustrator authors, especially the authors, because I think maybe amongst illustrators there's a bit more chat about how these things work. But I know that a friend of mine's brother, she got in touch and said, "Oh my God, he's got a 3-book deal." And I was thinking, that seems really weird because he's just had this idea for children's picture books and he looked it up just looked up publishers who publish books, and their SEO covers everything. So even if you're looking up quite well-known publishing names, they've used those names in the SEOs of these vanity publishers. So you end up on their site, and the way they describe their services, they don't say we will print your book. They say we are publishers. We're actively looking for authors or illustrators, which is not how the industry works, is it, Helen?
No. If a publisher got in touch, they would be, we saw your work on Instagram. We saw that you were a runner-up in this competition. We really love your folio and we love this piece and we've got a project in mind. They wouldn't be.
They'd want to speak to you and have a meeting
They'd
first.
speak to you directly, and they'd try and arrange a Zoom call or a meeting in real life, But
you wouldn't have publishers putting on their website, we are accepting submissions, we are looking
or the
for...
opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
Do not contact
They are
us.
overwhelmed, and they're definitely not going to be doing that.
So even literary agents won't write as a permanent welcome message on their website, we are looking for illustrators and authors. It's only occasionally they open their books and on the network it gets around. So anyone who's saying we're actively looking for illustrators and authors is a red flag in itself, isn't it, for vanity publishing?
It makes sense that vanity publishers are basically printers, because of course they want to print 3 of your books. They'll be like, yes, please, that's 3 orders. Well,
there's that kind of print on demand thing, isn't it, which a lot of people use, and they do quite well out of it. Like, there are really great stories of people who did print their own book, like Rebecca Green's legendary story of How to Make Friends with a Ghost, and that got her books later on. So this is not about saying don't self-publish, but the vanity publishers will print thousands of the books.
And you pay them. That's you wouldn't have a real publishing deal where you pay them to print your book.
And they don't do any publicity. They don't do any distribution. If they do distribution, it's on costs on top of it. Yeah. All they're doing is providing you with boxes and boxes of your book that no one has helped design. Oh, just the thought of that. It's a waste of paper. Even if your illustrations are beautiful, without a good book designer and an art director and an editor.
I couldn't do it without that team. They're just so vital. I can't imagine. Yeah, you need all of that. And also then all of the books, thousands of them arrive at your house in boxes.
Oh, thank you.
Where are you going to start?
You have to make
walking
furniture.
Into town and going into a shop and saying, would you like to... Oh, it'd be just awful. I can't imagine.
You can construct sofas and armchairs out of the boxes.
Yeah, I live here now. This is my home.
So if you get any of those kind of slightly suspect, over-enthusiastic responses or people literally crying out for illustrators and authors, check them really carefully. And if you need to know the names of those people, you Google vanity publishers and you'll see some of the popular names yourself. But it's saddening because the enthusiasm of creative people is being exploited. That's the really annoying bit.
Yeah.
And if you get something you suspect might be dodgy, ask your illustrator friends. Put it, if you're in a good shape, you could put it on I was going to say Facebook. We're not in Facebook anymore.
Well, we are a bit. We've done that big move, but we've only done it with Find Your Creative Voice, Picture Book, and some of the others will follow into our new community inside our Kajabi platform. So we won't have to use Facebook anymore. That would be great.
But getting friends to look at it is good because they have a little bit of distance from it, especially illustrator friends, and they won't be blinded by excitement and, oh my goodness, a thing.
And they might have had a similar email.
Yes.
Instagram's a good place to ask out for, isn't it? And there's a lot of good sort of self-education on scams on Instagram.
I don't really get scams, or if I do, they're easy for me to filter out because I don't generally... if you're a picture book maker, you're with 1 or 2 or 3 publishers long term, so you're not really looking for the work, so it's easy to kind of filter through. But the thing that I get, and this is not a scam at all, but it's just really naive, I think, is... In fact, I got one last week. I think I might have told you too about it. It basically said something like, "Dear Helen, I've written a book. Please will you illustrate it? From Andrew."
Sorry, Andrew.
Yeah, sorry, Andrew.
Did you tell Andrew, well, yes, if you've got at least...
I didn't reply.
Say 15,000 in advance, and
didn't reply.
I think a lot of people don't realise that publishers do the matchmaking.
Yeah, they want to do the matchmaking. So if you've got some great text, send them to the publisher, and they will find the perfect illustrator. They're good at it. It's their job. Yeah. And if you arrive with an illustrator, and the publisher love either the text or the illustration, they might just reject it because they don't want to split up this happy friendship. So, yeah, I wouldn't approach illustrators. I suppose it's not a never. But definitely don't approach an illustrator just with 2 sentences. I've written some stories. Do you want to illustrate them?
But we see all the time so much. And again, it's not a scam. But people are like, my friend has written a story and I'm going to illustrate it. We're working together. They're going to pay me. They're giving me £1,500 or, something like that. And it's fine.
Yeah.
But we're always... in the comments, there's always a pile on in the good ship anyway. People be like, proceed with caution.
Yeah, be wary. You're going to end up working with somebody who's not used to commissioning. It's going to be frustrating. They might love the colour purple, Tanya, and they want you to do the whole thing in purple.
Or it'll be so much work. And then...
then how many changes are they going to ask for? And then is it really going to be published after this? It's such a long shot for a lot of work for a small amount of money.
And if you're self-publishing, how good are they at promoting things? Are they actually going to sell many copies? It's, Yeah,
there's kind of no professionals in the room. However laudable it is to have this beautiful idea, putting 2 people together without any management coordination, you can only take it so far. And often, one or the other is the strongest part. It could be the writing. Like you say, just go straight to the publisher then. There's no need to wait, team up, damage your friendship, have an exhausting year, and then finally send the thing only for the publishers to say, actually, we just like the writing. We don't need the illustration. Yeah. So
this isn't a scam, but what about that thing you were telling us about where you get that email every day that you can't unsubscribe from?
Somebody called Francis emails me. Hello, Francis, if you're listening. And you're definitely a robot, but hello. Every day, Francis has a new collaboration opportunity for me. So it's a whole raft of AI companies. Like, this one's a video editing thing. This one is for... I stopped reading them because they're all about AI.
They're all software, are they?
It's like
softwares that want to collaborate with
software to use, and then they want me to post about using it, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And it's not a scam because I've googled it, and people are getting paid by these random companies to make content. But I'm like, it's so not aligned with what I want to do, and the rates are like, you'll get to $106. I'm like, why? It's such a weird number. And then they're like, we've come back with a higher offer. It's $126. I'm like, stop emailing me.
But you can't unsubscribe.
You cannot unsubscribe when you... I haven't replied because I don't want them to know that I'm reading them. But it's just annoying.
What about those emails? Do you get those emails where they say, we love your Instagram. Would you like to promote sportswear? Do you get those?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
You don't know who I am.
Yeah. I've started getting sent random things. Somebody sent me a diffuser the other week. Oh. But they're like, we're going to send you it, but there's no obligation to post. And I'm glad because I didn't like the smell. And then somebody sent me some like vitamins, and I was like, oh, these are exciting. And then I googled them, and the vitamins are like loosely linked to increasing cell growth, which may be linked to cancer. So they've been taken off the market. And I was like, oh, I should have googled this before I started taking them. So do your research.
I think, but the main one is most artists get we touched on this quickly, but Alice told us about it, where she was an assistant to a couple of particularly well-known artists, and they were constantly getting emails saying, I'd like to buy 3 pieces, and they had huge budgets. And so in the fine art world, the scams get quite high stakes, and it's hard not to pursue them because what if they were real? But I think illustrators get a lot of them. I would like to buy 3 of your artworks, and that's the one where you do a bit of to and fro with them, and they just say, oh, I've overpaid you. So even getting into debatable purchases of your actual work, because as an illustrator you could do prints, you could do original work, and these things look really attractive, and they come in a lot of different forms. Again, the only thing you can do is just copy and paste the text, put it into Reddit or Google and see what they say.
Yeah, and they are naughty because they're preying on your excitement and need for work and money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have your wits about you.
I'm sure people have got loads of other... Send us your scam stories.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Don't get scammed.
Yeah, we can put warnings out wherever, at least within our community, and let people know.
Also, guys, this isn't anything to do with scams. It's the opposite. Salty Dog is out in the shops.
Not a scam.
They really did write a book. I've seen it today.
And it's published by an actual publisher.
Not a vanity publisher. No. It's very exciting.
Congratulations, pals. I'm so
Thank
proud of you.
We went to Waterstones and it was in an actual shop.
Yeah.
And didn't you get a picture today from
I got a picture.
Foils.
Yeah, it's in foils in Charing Cross Road, a whole table of them, piles of them.
So exciting.
So exciting.
It's very funny. The book is really funny. I love it. I can't wait for mine to pop through the letterbox. Because when Katie... No, it still hasn't arrived. Pre-ordered. Blackwell's.
It was really great yesterday when I went into Waterstones, because I went in and I said, have you got Salty Dog in? Because I wrote that. I always think they're going to go, you did not get out. Anyway, she said it's due. She had a look on the system. She said it's due in today. So I said, okay, before I get my train home, I'm going to come back because I really want a photograph with it. And I knew Katie was going to be in Newcastle at some point that day as well. So I thought, it'd be really great. We'll both get a photo holding the book and we'll badly Photoshop it together as if we were there together. So I went back in and there was another woman at the till, and I said, I'm just in because I wondered if Salty Dog has arrived. And she said, yes, it's arrived. And both of it, the woman that I spoke to first and her, they'd both been reading it together. And they planned just to have a flick through it. But they started reading it and couldn't stop laughing and finished the whole thing. And she said, it's right up my street. It's so funny. She was reading out. She was telling me the bits that she really liked. So she said, so we've ordered a load more. We've got more coming in. So me and you will have to call in again and sign the rest when they arrive.
Yeah.
So that was so exciting that she'd actually picked it up and genuinely really loved it.
Because
So
Waterstones,
nice.
they're allowed to put the personal recommendations up. So if she liked it, she'll be pushing it hard.
Oh, yeah, they do that with a little handwritten note, don't
Yeah.
they? I like that in Waterstones.
And then, the scam that Helen pulled off after that was fake photoshopping her and Katie in Waterstones with the book. It was so atrocious.
It wasn't bad enough, though, because nobody was commenting on the
It was
fact.
so weird. Tania said, make it really obvious, because I didn't know that was a Photoshop job. So I made it as bad as I could, and still people are not noticing. It's so weird. And I've made you really tiny. It's
I've
really
been fantasising
funny.
about being the same height as you. I was like, wow. That would
It's
be
so great.
small.
I was like, in all future photos, I want to be Photoshopped to be taller than Katie.
And I liked it that Katie was on a slope. You were on a nice flat floor, but yeah, I could see that she was on an uphill slope, but maybe no one got that too.
You'll have to go
Watch
back.
out for their bookshop photo scams.
If you see Salty in a bookshop, would you mind sending us a photo? We'd really love to see where you saw it.
Yeah,
Be
tag
great.
us on Instagram because it's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
And please can we make an audio file of Katie reading it? So if you've bought the book, you're allowed to have a
we
Northumbrian
should
accent
do
read
that.
along.
I didn't know what the rules are because I've got a Yoto and I was like, how do you get your book onto a Yoto card or an audiobook? Is that like a publishing thing? Because you can just record your own Yoto things and upload them.
I think we own the rights for that, and we could probably just run it by Walker and say, do you mind if we do this?
We should try.
Because
that'd be
we
fun.
in a publishing deal, usually you own the rights for theatre or
Yeah.
And I imagine it's the same for audio, but I don't know. We'd have to check the contract and ask Walker. But that would be great because I love it when you read it out loud. It's so brilliant.
You don't have audiobooks for children, do you? For picture books, they don't exist.
You got Yoto, and there's one
What
called
is Yoto?
There's a Tony box as well. So Yoto's cards that you put into a little box. It's brilliant. And then the Tony box is like little figurines that you put on top of a box and they play.
Oh, I think I saw that at the brand licensing fair, that they had little Gruffalos
Yeah.
that would... Does the model have a recording or transmitting device in
so
it?
it's like, I think it's like magnetic, and you magnet it at the top and it plays the thing. It's really cool.
Oh my God, imagine a magnetic salty sitting on top of an audio box telling a story in Katie's voice.
That would be so great.
Start manifesting
brilliant.
now.
Dreaming dreams.
Yeah, I love that. In the meantime, we should just make a video, not to sell, but of you speaking the story while I draw.
Yeah,
That would be great, wouldn't it? Shall we make that?
Let's do that. We'll speak to Walker about the rules.
We
we're
can
allowed to
do
just
that.
do
We're
that.
completely allowed to do that.
Okay.
It's only if we wanted to sell an audio version, I think, that we'd need to speak to Walker. Yeah.
Insider marketing tips. Take note. Brilliant.
Okay.
All right.
Goodbye.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.